6:30, let's get started. My name's Dr. Jeff. Tonight we're going to talk about surviving Christmas. This is a talk I haven't done in about 7 years. But what I want you to think while I'm going through this talk is this could have been the last talk that I just did. We're talking about the same general principles in all of our talks. So whether it's this talk, whether it's how to live to 100, whether it's how to avoid diabetes, I'm always going to take it back to the 5 essentials of maximized living. And yes, this one will be more, it'll be more God-based. I'll be dropping some G-bombs in here tonight. I think we're probably okay with that. But this one is, because it's that time of the year, we're going to have much more of a Christian slant to that talk. So first thing, I don't know if you know, but I'm on Faith FM. This is, I think, I'm into my 9th year now. The show's called Above, Down, Inside Out. And Above, Down, Inside Out is where life flows from. Above, down is from God to man, and inside out is how God designed our bodies to heal. So I'm truly a believer in that. If someone were to say to me, hey, Dr. Jeff, did you take the flu shot? I'd say, no, I don't take the flu shot. Not because I don't like the flu shot. It's just that I have more faith in the power that God's put in my body than a drug company. So I don't want to be shackled by the thought that my body can't heal. I don't believe that. Now, crisis care is a different thing. If I get in a car accident, that's not the same as a flu shot. You got to be able to understand those points in life. But I hope you're listening to the show. And every week we have different topics. But there are things that we see in the media, and I try to make it kind of functional for your lives. Thou shalt be hopeful. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Gotta love it. Who wants a little bit of that at Christmas? Yeah, this is what we want all the time in our life. We just see how it's more stressful at Christmas time. So the birth of our Savior, somehow we've taken it and contorted it into let's go and do a bunch of things that if we were to ask the Lord if we should be doing them, we would probably get an answer that you don't want to hear. So let's think about that before we go do it. And remember, have hope. God always wants you to succeed. And as George Michael said it, you got to have faith. Now, these are the 5 essentials of maximized living. We need the mindset. We need to know that God has your back, but He wants you to make decisions. He wants you to do things that please Him. The nerve supply, the nervous system, is maximized living essential number 2. The nervous system is the master control system in the human body. I know we were taught this in grade 9 biology, what the nervous system does, but this nervous system, it runs your muscles and your organs. So I know people come in and they complain of neck pain and low back pain, and I'm supposed to take your sciatica seriously, and I do. But your sciatica also, that same nerve supplies all your internal organs. No one has ever died from leg pain. Okay? No one's ever died from a headache. People die from organ failure. It's the same nerve being pinched. Because that's what they taught you in school, and then someone else taught you about drugs, and drugs can take away all your symptoms quickly. And they can. Because drugs will either make your body do something or stop your body from doing something. Your body's in pain, it will take the pain away. It didn't take the problem away, it took the pain away. We can bring your blood pressure down, but until we change your lifestyle, make you lose weight and exercise, all you've done is put a pill in your body that wears off, and then you got to put another pill and another pill. So you get shackled into that concept that the body can't heal. It's a very dangerous concept to get involved in. So that's why, well, I'm 28 years and 3 months now since I've taken any medication. I'm not a martyr, I just don't take drugs. I haven't had a need to take anything. So, if I broke my leg, I guess I would take something, but it wouldn't be fentanyl. You see, but this is the rest of the world. We go opiates. You don't need to go that way. Maximize living essential number 3, we're going to be talking about that a lot tonight. It's about nutrition. Food by God, food by man. Maximize nutrition, maximize essential number 4. That was the workout class that we put on. Your body needs oxygen to be forced through it to work better. So the more you push your body, the more your body will be able to do in the long run. I talk about this with you get these 20-year-old women who come into my office and say, what's your exercise? And they say, I walk. And I was like, 80-year-olds walk. What do you do? I walk. Well, by the time you get to be 80, you won't be able to walk. You should be able to run. You should be able to do more. It's all about expanding our limits. Because when we expand our limits, and this was our last talk, the Hansalye, if we expand our limits, then we can do a lot more. If your limits get narrowed as you get older, they'll get more narrow. So then all of a sudden, you'll go from a smaller to a smaller to a smaller place. So we want you to be able to be functional your whole life. And then maximize living essential number 5, we want to minimize your exposure to toxic material. Some things you can't control. There's a whole lot of things you can. I think I've mentioned this before. When you start to see companies like this, deodorant companies, and they're very clear what they put on these. But once again, you got to understand these same companies had the chemicals in here months and months before. But now on this this deodorant, it says no aluminum, no parabens, no phthalates, and no propylene glycols. Why didn't they say that? They're saying that because they know that you know those are bad things for you, right? So then they've reformulated. Not because they like you, it's because they want you to buy the product. All right? So that would be less toxic. So what do I want you to do? Buy something less toxic. It'd be better for you. 4 rules for a successful, non-stressful Christmas. Have a game plan. That's a good one. Write it down. That's important. But here's a good one too. Follow what you've written down. Yeah, I can get people to write things down, you know, after I badger them enough, they'll write it down. And it's like, where is it? I don't know. It's in my car, I think. This is why we don't give out flyers, because they give out a flyer for people and then say, hey, where's the flyer? I found it in my car when I was cleaning it out in the spring. It's like, oh good, it got to your dashboard, and then it got under the seat, and then it got into the trunk, and you didn't get anywhere. So, you know, write it down, but, you know, maybe read it and follow through. Be inspired. Remember the word inspired, in spirit. In spirit is where you want to be. Motivation goes pretty quick. So, you know, you go to a seminar, you buy something that you're never going to use, money back guarantee, and then you put it in the closet and you're not even motivated enough or inspired enough to get your money back. When you're in spirit, you're always in spirit. All right? So you know God. It's not like, I think there's a God. It's like, no, you know God. It's a different level of commitment. Do it for God, your family, and then you. This is a big thing too. Because most people, they want to work out to look different. It's like, well, now we're into that vanity thing. How about doing the same thing? I still want you to work out, but let's change it. Let's work out to honor the body that you've been given. So you're doing it for God. Then you're doing it for your family so you can stay alive longer and be healthy. And then you can be number 3, all right? Because your chance of following through are going to be greater. But when you are only doing something for you, you don't get a group of people that gather behind you to support you, because it's not about you. It's never really about you if you really think about it. It's about other people. And if I have these crazy routines. There's one day a week I do 1,000 push-ups. Big deal. I can do 1,000 push-ups in a day. It's usually over a couple hours. Last week I did 120 pull-ups. Big deal. It's just a number, okay? It's just a number. I do it because I try to inspire other people that at first I could do 10, and now I can do 120. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm a pretty lazy guy. So if I can pull this off, anyone else can do it too. So it's not to try to make me better. It's not to brag. It's the fact that, look it, I sit and used to do running. I've told you that one before. I didn't run. And then before I know it, I'm running the Boston Marathon. How did that happen? I started to run, and I just kept running. It's like one of those Forrest Gump things until I did what I wanted to do. I achieved a goal that I never thought I was going to get to. But when I was 40, I didn't run at all. People think I ran my whole life. It's like, no, I started, and it hurt. It hurt the first 3 runs. So suck it up. It's going to hurt a little. And then, greatness. People don't hang in there long enough. And if they hung in there long enough, incredible, incredible things would happen. How do you get things done? One of the most important things are if you decide that you're going to do something, you have to attach the action and a time. I'm going to do it tomorrow at 11. Then you know what? The universe somehow, whether it's just your spouse or your friends, they let you get away with it because you've already defined it. But when you say, yeah, we should get together sometime. Let's do that tomorrow. It's like, yeah, mañana. It's never going to happen. 91% compliance if you just say tomorrow at a certain time. The universe just lets it happen, all right? But you just got to do those. That's that write it down, and that's that read it. Simple, simple things. And if you do it, you're going to be successful. Communicate clearly to others. Communication is important because if you're not letting other people know, we're not mind readers. Other people have to know what your goals are, what your ambitions are, what you plan on doing. Leave some breathing space. So it's not like I'm going to schedule a nap in tomorrow afternoon, but a nap will probably happen. All right? But it's not about scheduling things. Most time with stress management and time management, it's truly about how can you do too many things that you shouldn't be doing in the same day. That's really what stress management is all about, where peace management is a different look at things. Peace management is, let's look at peace as the state that I want to be at. Stress is a chaotic thing. Why would I want to try to organize a stressful, chaotic thing when I could choose to have something different, peace? And when I have peace, I'll get rid of things that aren't as important on that day. And then I will have that peace, so I'll get the good night's sleep so I can handle more tomorrow instead of trying to do too many things all the time. Does that sound what people are doing? I know we all get caught up in that. So you got to leave some breathing space. You know what? It's Christmas time. You need to relax and you need to enjoy. With my radio show, I've already recorded up till December 26th. I have to do one more show before Christmas. But it's an example of I knew December was going to be busier. So that meant in October I had to start doing things. It's that begin with the end in mind so that I didn't get to a point where I'm rushing around like everyone else. And November is my month where if I'm going to get sick, that's the month I'll get sick. I've missed either 5 or 6 days of work in 26 years, so it's not a lot of days that I've missed. Never missed 2 days in a row, I don't think. And November is the month where I will have
Part of
missed.
it was an ankle or something you couldn't.
No, I was working.
Okay, you limped around, yeah.
No, when I get sick, it's going to be a cold, it's going to be the flu, and that's how I'll get sick. And November is typically the month. So, and it's always me, too little sleep, too much alcohol, too much sugar, too little exercise. There's always a combination of those things. So once again, I know that. So that's why I increase my vitamin D. I make sure that I have some downtime in my life, and then when I do that, then there's less chance of me getting sick in the long run. But once again, there's certain times of the year that you probably know about yourself where you're going to catch things. Then come up with a better game plan. Getting sick, getting pneumonia once a year. People try to convince me it's normal to get pneumonia once a year and end up on antibiotics. It's not normal. It's not even close to being normal. How do you enjoy Christmas? Well, first, we have to picture it as the best year ever. This kind of takes me into the new year. We're going to get into our next Maximize Living Makeover. And part of the mindset that we want you to think about in that is if you don't think this year is going to be the best year ever, then just stay in bed. Seriously, you got to have this mindset. Even if it's not good, you have to say, I got to make this year as best as I can. My dad died earlier this year. It's probably not the best year of my life, but once again, that happened. So we have to deal with it. So, things happen. My dad was 87. People die when they get older. He's in heaven. That's not a horrible, horrible thing. Map out your December. Make sure that you're clear and you plan things in advance. I was joking to Maggie, our massage therapist, we do some things socially together, and I said, Maggie, we just got really popular lately, so you better book it soon, because I started curling. So I got 2 games tomorrow night, so 7 to 9 and then 9 to 11, so 4 hours on the ice. It's like I haven't curled since high school. It's like, oh, this will be a piece of cake. Maybe not. But that's how I was feeling. And Linda says, "Yeah, go ahead, girl. I'll see you tomorrow." She's gonna do something anyways. We got our Christmas baking on Monday, right? So the cookie exchange. So she's gonna be probably busy, and we have company on Saturday because once again we've got our weekend planned out in advance of pretty much our whole month now, don't we? Yeah.
We do have some downtime.
Yeah. Downtime is 5 days in Cancun. That's downtime. So so we're working next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we're leaving, and then we come back and we're working Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if you see me once or twice a week next week, it's like, oh, cool. If you see me 3 times a week, well, you can still see me 3 times a week. They're just the days that you can come in because you can't see me on Thursday and Friday and Monday and Tuesday. So we do things in advance. We plan for this. We planned this vacation months ago. It's paid for before we go. It's a mindset. that people just, they spend, they buy, they do crazy stuff. They get caught up in the commercial aspect. There's this Shaw commercial, one of those cable companies you see on TV. And Shaw, their new buzz phrase that's driving me crazy is, we just made binge watching easier. Do we really need to make binge watching any easier? Do we need to make it easier for you not to exercise or to eat improperly? They're taking a negative and they're turning it into a positive for you. And the public, they love this. They must have tested it on enough people to realize it's a winner. And I go, well, they didn't talk to me. They talk to other people who believe it's a good idea. So being in the minority is a good thing in life, but we don't want to make binge watching easier. It's a bad thing to do. Budget, budget, budget. It's December. Make sure you're not overspending your money. And I'll show you some science behind that a little bit later. Perfect gift is spending time with people. That's sending what we do with our brother-in-law and sister-in-law. We'd rather go out to dinner with them. We'd rather go bowling with them. We'd rather do something with them than buy them something that they don't need. So people buy stuff. Make something, personal. Do something that's different than other people. And yeah, love thy fellow man and love thy fellow woman. Planning is the key. Make sure that your special events, before they're planned, before you get too busy, you can't fit big things in if you didn't plan in advance. So we got the calendar at home. So before I commit to anything, we check the calendar. Why? Because I don't want to get in trouble. Favorite movies. So, we're going to be watching, we'll get Elf in here. We have our favorite movies that we play. Make sure you watch your favorite shows, the ones that get you in that nice state that you want to be in at Christmas. How can I do all this? He's talking about doing so many things. Well, turn your TV off. It's the first thing. You're wasting a lot of time there. I told you to watch a movie. And make sure that, remember, television is more like the junk food of relaxation. So, if you're going to put it on for a bit at night, that's great. But you can't be spending your whole day doing these things. Ask your family for help. We're not mind readers. So our kids have expectations. You've probably heard me say it before, but our kids have to cook 2 meals every week in our house. And these meals aren't just for them, they're for the whole family. Why do we do this? Because then Linda doesn't have to be in the kitchen all the time.
We've been doing it since high school.
Yeah. And then when we went away to university, there was some, hiccups when Mitchell was gone. We ended up cooking for him. And now he's back, and that's the only way we could survive. But that's how we can make sure there's always food in the fridge. The food that we want, instead of saying, oh, what's that, skip the dishes? God. We do it 4 days a week. It's like, then you're going to die. You can't, and that's just dinner. Because if you're eating dinner out 4 times a week, I'm thinking, well, they're eating lunch out 5 times then. And maybe 3 or 4 breakfasts too. It's not. You can't let strangers make your food. All right? That's ultra-processed food. It will kill you. Perfect time of the year to plan your New Year's resolutions, and then you're ready for it. Because most people, they're going to eat horribly. So I'm going to give you 3 bad days to eat in December without guilt from me, all right? Anything else is on you, all right? 3 bad days is a lot of bad eating, all right? So I might use up mine, Cancun, or a couple of them there, but that'll happen. But most people are going to eat bad for a month, and they're going to gain 5 or 10 pounds, and then they're going to say, oh, now I'm going to lose weight. It's like, sure you are. Why don't you start doing those things now, so that when you get to January, you already have figured out how to achieve your resolution instead of putting it off like people do. Nutrition secrets. Okay, who here would love to eat whatever they want and still lose weight? It doesn't work. It can't work. All right. So, our weight loss. What we want is weight loss. I call that downstream. You have to fix upstream to get downstream. All right. So you can't lose 10 pounds if you haven't changed how you eat and exercise. So exercise is a part of that too. But seriously, if you have a bad diet, the only way to fix a bad diet is with a good diet. You can't fix it with a treadmill. And some people try to do that. It doesn't work. If you're having some bad exercise, then you can fix that with appropriate exercise. But if your diet is bad, the only way to fix it is with a good diet. All right? And that's where people get confused because, oh, I'll just go on the treadmill for 2 hours. Great. Then you're going to get off the treadmill and still eat like an idiot because you don't understand you can't eat that food. So it's just a matter of, and when I'm talking about myself here, okay? So this is, we all do these things to ourselves. And remember, it's the guy in the mirror that creates all my problems. I don't know about your life. Doesn't work. You can't lose that. Now, we love to call nutritional secrets just because people, they listen. But the reality is, this is common sense stuff that we're going to talk about. All right? If this is earth-shattering, then that's good. Then you'll go home and change. But it's practice. It's what you know. It's like going to church. You know what the sermon's going to be. It's going to be one of 5 or 6 things that, people do on a regular basis. It's just a reminder to not do that. All right? It's not like they pulled something new out of the Bible this week. It's the same thing. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm doing that again, Ernie. Yeah, you're doing it. Stop doing it. Okay, great. Same thing with their diet. We just got to get better at it. I want you to cut back on carbs. Carbs are horrible for you. I want you to eat fat. And I'm not talking about cheesecake. That's not fat that we're talking about. I want you to eat nuts. I want you to eat seeds. I want you to eat the right meats. All right? And when you go to a restaurant, you say, oh, I got Dr. Jeff, I got the salmon. It's like you got farm salmon that was fed GMO. And I want to tell you that, but it's like, oh yeah, okay, that's good. We'll talk about that later. You got to know where your food comes from. So if you're eating nuts and seeds, you got to know there's a lot of calories in it, okay? So don't tell me, I put on all this weight by eating nuts and seeds. That's because there's calories in there too. All right? So you got to have a bit of a knowledge when it comes to these things. If you want to know where we buy the right fats, then we do have a list. But for some people in here, that's not what you need to start doing. What you need to start doing is stop eating out. Because I'll guarantee that's all the wrong fat, and you're paying 3 to 4 times the price. So when people tell me they can't afford to eat organic, I say, yeah, you can. All you have to do is stop eating out. We're going to go pick up some organic meat next week. We found a farmer. He's down in West Lauren. I meet him at the Costco parking lot. I pull up. He moves his meat into the back of my truck. It's almost like this deal going on. Envelope of money. I go, do you want to count? He goes, no, I trust you. Okay, God, he scares me when he says that. And then I leave with all the meat and I bring it back here. So we get organic hamburger. It's frozen for $5 a pound. All you need to do is buy 50 pounds of it. For $250, you get organic hamburger. If you want organic steaks, roasts, and hamburgers, it's kind of a variety pack. It's not $5, it's $6 a pound now. So you're getting an organic T-bone for $6. It's frozen. You take it out of the freezer and then it's not frozen anymore. Because people want fresh. It's like, well, this was fresh, and then they froze it. And then you thawed out and it's fresh again. But if you want to pay $50 or $20 a pound, then go get it. But you pay more for that. So, we found a way to eat cheaply and eat well. So, and if you watch any of those shows, what was that marketplace that we saw with the grocery store?
Oh, that
what
was
was this 22-minute story about? They'd look at the hamburger, they'd sniff it, and go, it's kind of off. Let's regrind it with some fresh stuff. So even though it's beyond the expiry date, yeah, we found this on Marketplace. It was on YouTube. And then if the steak went bad, you know what they do? They put some marinade on it and sell it for more because it was marinated. Put the marinade on it so you didn't smell the rottenness.
And they take the fruit
Yeah,
off
scoop
of
the old
the
fruit
fruit
off.
cakes
Yeah.
and replace the fruit.
Yeah.
So that was just recently.
Yeah, it was in the last year or so this show came out, and it's from the top down in the grocery stores. So if you see a half a pie, you go, hey, a half a pie. That's because it was a full pie and no one bought it. So they cut it in half and charged you more, and you thought, well, that's cool. Yeah, it's been sitting around longer. So when you look at what they do, it makes you think. And this is why occasionally, if we go and we buy something, we go to like a Vincenzo's. The chance of them doing it is like much smaller. So just buy the whole thing, buy the half. But this is what happens to your food. It gets altered, and people are manipulating it all the time. That's why I don't mind buying frozen hamburger, because the person I bought it from, he didn't, how could he have done anything between the butcher and it being frozen and him putting it in his freezer? It's like, my food chain is so much smaller than your food chain. And if you want to, we're going to go down and pick up the meat. All you do, you don't even pay us. You pay us when I drop it off to your door. And then we just want people to pay us cash, because I hate going to the bank with checks. People go, what's wrong? What are you selling? I'm not selling anything. I'm dropping meat off at your door.
But we won't do it if we're not doing it. We're not going to drive all the way down.
I'm going down there to pick up 2 bits for us. I'm not going to get it for you.
Yes,
I'm
just to be
going
clear.
to get my own.
We just do that as a favor.
So if you want it, it's in the next 2 weeks. And if you don't want it, it's in the spring. So you need a freezer. Diet food. First, there's no such thing as diet food. People go, oh, Dr. Jeff, there is diet food. I've seen it. It's diet food. Well, this is fat-free sour cream. There's 13 different ingredients in it. The 5th ingredient, and once again, it's based on what's in there the most, is propylene glycol. That is antifreeze. But don't worry, it's only the 5th ingredient. Normal sour cream, high-fat sour cream, this is what I want you to eat because there's fat in there. There's 3 ingredients in here. Man's food and God's food. Alright? So to make something look real when there's no fat in there, 13 ingredients. Most people don't read their ingredient list. So anytime that you see diet salad dressing, you're going to see propylene glycol in there. You might want to go higher fat whenever you can. There's only 3 things we can eat as humans: fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. Okay? Fats, proteins, carbohydrates. You've decided to eat low fat. Okay? You've just decided to eat a high carb diet. Do you get where I'm going with that? Because there's only 2 other things you can eat now. So what are you going to do? You're going to eat a lot more carbs. That's called a high carb diet. What happens on a high carb diet? You get fat. What's everyone told you to do? Stay away from fat. Who's right? I am. They're wrong. Alright? It's just that simple. Do you get that? I could do it again. You should get it. How about this? And we'll see if you get this one. I got 8 ounces of skim milk and 8 ounces of homogenized milk. Which one has more sugar in it? It's not a trick question. The skim. The skim has more sugar in it because we've taken out all the fat. So I have concentrated the sugar because it's still 8 ounces. Do you get that? So you've been talked into skim milk and 1% milk, and all you're getting is sugar. Do you get that? I want you to drink whole milk because it's filled with fat, which means there's less sugar in it. Do you get that? Apple juice. You get it. You know the apple is what we want, but people drink the apple juice. And they don't get absorbed the same way by the body. So once again, no such thing as diet food. There's only food that's good for you and food that's bad for you. Okay? Now you just got to figure out what's good and what's bad for you. Does that make sense? Alright. Now the people who follow my recommendations, they can easily lose 10 to 15 pounds in a month. That's the no grain, no sugar diet. You can do these things, and we've done this ourselves. If you go grain-free, it's amazing how much better you feel and how much better your body's going to work. Your weight is a symptom of your busy lifestyle. You know, you have to acknowledge that. That if you're putting on weight, it's because of something you've done. And that could be something you've done to your hormones because your body becomes toxic. It could be you not exercising. There's a lot of ways that you can stop your body from healing properly. Our bodies, food by God, our bodies are designed to break down food and to use it to rebuild ourselves. So we want to put intelligent food in our body so our body knows what to do with it. Food that's in the sense compatible to us. Where you start to look at the Splenda world and the aspartame world, these are chemical concoctions that are not compatible for the body to deal with. They're bad for you. They are all chemicals made in a lab. And yet, your doctor, medical doctor, is going to say they're good for you because they're sugar-free. They're toxic. Sure, there's no sugar in there, but they can do all sorts of horrible things to your brain and body parts. And yes, we know from the studies, they say, well, it can damage laboratory rats, and people go, well, I'm not a laboratory rat. I get you're not a rat, but why do you think they did the study? To see, and it's like they don't want to think the next to it. Well, I'm not a rat, and only did some rats. But yeah, some people are going to be able to handle those chemicals more than they should. They're still not good for you. You have to understand that. So we want food that our body knows what to do with. We want food that's rich in nutrients. And then we don't want to throw it into a microwave and then take the nutrients out. So we don't have microwaves at home. Man, if you need to eat in 2 minutes, you probably misplanned your day, alright? You know? You probably should have started earlier, or we could call that an intermittent fast. You know, my fast yesterday was 16 hours. It was a piece of cake. So there's a couple days a week, Linda does it more than me, where we'll try to compact all our meals into about an 8-hour period. We're still going to eat our 3 meals, but there's a big gap in there that forces my body to have to burn fat. And it'll find the fat on my body and burn it. But everyone else is teaching you to eat every couple hours. And then your body says, well, why would I go through the work of burning fat when there's going to be, one stomach pain, and boom, they're eating again. So the stomach's running you that way. With the intermittent fasting, the first couple of times you'll get to 10 and 12 hours, you'll be like, oh my God, I'm going to die. It's like, no, the mechanisms will kick in. So once you let them kick in, your body goes, always doing that thing again. All right, I'll do this. So the body goes, I'll burn the fat. It'll do it if you make it, but if you're constantly throwing food in your body's not going to do what you want it to do. So you'll be okay if there's, this horrible famine, but there is no famine. We don't have to worry about that. Just eat sensibly. Don't eat crazy stuff. A quality body comes from the quality food that we put in there. So you could try to rebuild your body with Coke and potato chips. It's not going to work as well as vegetables and the proper meat. Food by man, it's been altered. It's not something we should put in our body on a regular basis. Maybe 20% of your diet. That's a lot. But don't go higher than those numbers. It robs your body of energy, it makes you sick, it affects your immune system, and for the first time in history, there are more people who are overweight than underweight. That happened earlier this year. We talk about, oh my God, we need to have GMO food to feed all the people in Africa. It's like, well, you know what? There's more fat people now than thin people. So guess what? We've got enough food, I'm going to tell you that right now, how I can tell, because based on that. So what we need to do is we need to understand people are overfed and undernourished. You can eat junk food, full of calories, but nothing in there is good for you. So don't do it as often. Food by man, it will contribute to sickness at Christmas. It will. Every single time, whether you like it or not. So what do you need to do? You need to watch the refined carbs and sugar. So once again, these are the things that you'll like to eat. You just got to eat them less often. You got to watch your sugar substitutes. Those are the toxic chemicals. And yes, the trans fats, we know they're bad for you. These trans fats, it's funny because some of the peanut butter, it clearly says on them, this one, when I go out and I buy some of these things, this one didn't say trans fat free. A lot of them do say trans fat free, but this one, the ingredients, first ingredient is peanut, second ingredient is soybean oil, which I don't know why soybean oil is in peanuts, because it should be probably peanut oil.
I know why.
Oh, it's cheaper.
Well, they take the good peanut
Yeah,
oil out, sell that, and put soy.
And then the soybean oil. She stole my thunder.
Wow.
Really tough.
Crafty.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. And then the next ingredient is corn maltodextrin. So corn is going to be a GMO product, and maltodextrin is sugar. All right. And then the next ingredient, it's sugar. So there's 2 sugars in a row, which is probably a lot more. And then, finally, hydrogenated vegetable oil. So there's a trans fat in there. So don't buy this peanut butter. The normal peanut butter is right here. The only ingredient in this Kirkland peanut butter is peanuts. So it's pretty easy to read a label and they call it hidden sugar. It's like you just have to read. You got to put your glasses on and read it. Nothing is hidden. You just decided not to look. So once again, you want to eat things that don't have trans fats in them. When you're entertaining, you want to make sure that your guests get their vegetables first. So we're going to fill them up on the vegetable, then they can have some richer food later. Water and soda between your drinks, or if you're going to have juice, water it down. Make sure everyone gets home safely. We have a little home breathalyzer now. And you get these things at Best Buy. I think they were like $40. So they're rather accurate. But if someone's anywhere close to 0.5, it's like, well, you can't drive. Don't be going, I'm just at 4.9. Oh, great, then get in the car like an idiot and drive home. But blood sugars can go up after you leave a party too. People don't think about that. Mm-hmm. So your body's still metabolizing the alcohol. So be wise. Like when we go out for dinner, it's like it's one drink nowadays. Mm-hmm. It doesn't take much to get very close to those limits. So be cautious. Now, when it comes to my rules on food, good food goes bad. So food is supposed to rot. It's designed to rot, where bad food always stays good. It never rots because it was never good in the first place. All right? A Twinkie can last forever because it's not real. This is a shop we took. This is a long time ago. 2007. We're in Las Vegas. We're wandering around, and this is the first time I saw this ever. It was the deep fried Twinkie. I said, we got to take a picture of that.
There were lineups.
Yeah, people were and it's like, I don't eat Twinkies. I certainly don't want to eat one deep fried. Because now I've just taken something bad and trans fatted it. And this is what, and then they were deep frying everything for a while, and it's like, goodness gracious, this is not how you can eat, and it's not how you're going to stay alive, and it probably wasn't 1:50 a.m. because I would have been dead. Some vitamins that you need to take. Vitamin D3, you should be taking vitamin D3. I know people are going to say, oh, 1,000. If you go across the border into the States, the largest pill you can buy there is 5,000 IUs. So in Canada, we're further north, which means we get less sunlight and it's colder, so you're probably not going to expose your skin to the sun without freezing. And they have a larger allowance there. So I'm saying, conservatively, you could take 8,000 a day for the whole of winter, and you're never going to overdose. And if you think you're overdosing, go pay $32 and have a test run. And then instead of guessing or having your doctor tell you something, your medical doctor, why don't you get a lab test run, and they'll give you a number. See how cool that is? Because your doctor will say, oh, this is bad for you. It's like, well, can you give me a requisition? And I'll pay, oh, you don't need to do that. I'm just telling you it's bad for you. It's like, well, I kind of like science too. I want to be able to look and see if I need to be taking more or less. Everyone needs vitamin D. You need it in Canada. Vitamin C, yes, you should be taking that, and fish oil. And then try to do your research and see where your vitamins come from. A lot of stuff comes from China. You want to try to avoid your vitamins coming from China. Maximize mind. The most successful people, well, they believe in God and are on a mission that's truly bigger than them. When I'm only about my mission, God's really not behind me. When I'm on something about everyone, helping everyone in the community, God will step up and help me with those things. He'll make sure those things happen, because it's not about me. And once again, you define success with your own goals, all right? Everyone discusses success in different ways. But I do believe that the people who are more successful, they understand that there's a higher power that's guiding you, that you need to be on board with. God created you to be a champion, and He needs you to be one that He wants you to succeed. So what you need to do, you need to work hard, and you need to get better at who you are. Fitness. No one really loves exercising. What fits your busy schedule better? Exercising 4 minutes a day, or being dead 24 hours a day? Exercise is something that you can all do in your life. The Max T3 that we do, that's a 6-minute workout. Some people aren't ready for a 6-minute workout. That's why we say, if you just started and did 4 minutes, and if you see that exercise, you can either do it 20 seconds or 30 seconds, as intensely as you can. Now, if you're doing it for 30 seconds, you can't do it with the same intensity as you were with 20 seconds, all right? This is important that people get this. And all you do with this high-intensity interval training is work out really, really hard for 20 or 30 seconds, then you rest for 20 or 30 seconds, and you work out hard again. And that gets your heart rate up, and then it brings it down, and up and down, and that burns your fat. And that's what you want. Where you're used to the ritualistic, I'm going to go for a walk for an hour. Well, I walk all day in the office. I'm at almost 11,000 steps today. But I don't kid myself that 11,000 steps got me in shape. On the weekend, I think we were 20,000 steps. One day last year, I got to 30,000 steps. I can walk a lot, but I don't get in shape. I burn some calories. But that's still not an exercise. That's just kind of a basic minimum in your day. If you're only doing 3,000 or 4,000, you got to do more. All right? But once again, you need to get doing some more intense exercise so your heart and your lungs get a real workout. When you exercise, you show respect for the body, and this is your body that God's given you, your body by God, as we call it. Romans, you were bought at a price, so honor God with your bodies. Someone died on the cross for you so that you could have forgiveness of sin in this body. So why don't we make sure that our time on earth is something that we're doing things to help other people instead of helping ourselves. When you get in shape, other people look at who you are and they say, I want that. All right? So it's contagious when people do the right thing. We all have our reasons to exercise. The most common one is, it's not about enjoyment. I exercise because I know I'll live longer. But it's not like I jump out of bed and say, great, I get to exercise today. It's like, yeah, if I exercise, I get to do a lot of fun stuff because I won't be sick at Christmas. I'll be able to do things that I want to do. But it's not necessarily the joy of exercise, it's the benefit of exercising. Your brain will work better. staves off Alzheimer's and dementia and so many other things. So when people give me their excuses, it's like, seriously, it's an excuse, guys. You need to do it. Find a way, find something you want to do, and then do it. Exercise. There is still time for it in your day. I know people always have their excuses. What's that great expression people say? You don't understand. You don't understand. Yeah, I understand. I'm pretty good with excuses too. And the other thing we didn't talk about too is sleep. We didn't have a slide on that, but a lot of times people don't get the sleep that they need. Now, right now, this time of the year, I know we're going to be busy. I'm 7 to 9 hours every night, and that's what I need. And if I try to get less sleep, it just doesn't work the same way. So, you know, going to bed 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock, those are typical numbers. I'm an early riser. At night, my brain doesn't do a whole lot. So when I go home tonight, there'll be a football game on. I'll have that on in the background. There'll be a book that I'm going to look at. Probably won't open the cover. And, you know, and then at a certain point, they'll say, go to bed. And I'll say, okay, good. I needed direction. But what did you do? Last week, we both woke up. We had like 8 hours of great sleep. And Linda, she's a genius. In my dreams, I'm always doing stuff. And she goes, oh, my dream, I slept in my whole dream. I'm like,
Double down.
She goes, yeah, I doubled down. And I said, you doubled down. She got 14 hours sleep that night. And she slept in her dream. And here I am, I'm running around, I'm doing stuff all the time. And Linda goes, I slept. I was like, oh. I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm going to try to sleep in my dream tonight because I never thought about sleeping in my dream. It's genius, isn't it? I know. Why didn't I think of that? I'm in my 50s and finally someone's come up with the solution. Sleep in your dreams.
Just don't dream.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to schedule things. Make sure that you have time for fitness. And make sure that you are getting your exercise, and that's all you need to do. With the surge training classes, we do it here on Monday and Thursday night. It's at 6:15. Everyone's welcome. If you're a patient in our office, you can go in the gym anytime. We built a gym here because we believe you should work out. You know, it's free. You can go in there at any time. There's no hidden agenda here. I want you to be well, and I can't make you well. You have to do it yourself. I can create an environment where you can do it, but I can't do it for you. All right? So the gym is for me too. You don't want to use it, I go, why not? I'm still going to use it. We've got some ladies over there. They rent out my facility 2 nights a week. I think they pay $10 to come and they do their boot class. What do they call it? Boot camp, yeah. And they work out here, and it's like, well, it's sitting empty, so it's like, yeah, why not? Linda does yoga on Friday morning. It's free. She just takes you through an instructional video. And it's just an extra workout. You just got to do those things. Now, if you're not a patient in the office, you're more than welcome to come to our workouts. And my suggestion is before you start a workout plan, you should get your spine checked because it'd be crazy to go in there and do something and hurt yourself. And I don't want you to hurt yourself in my facility. So if you want to get a free checkup here, then you can do that before. If you go in there and hurt yourself, well, I told you. You don't want to do that. Why do we want to exercise? Exercise decreases anxiety, stress, depression. We had a patient who started seeing me a few weeks ago, and she's on a drug called Celexa. So I look it up. And it's always funny, because they say, oh, if you have this, this, and this. And then you got to read it when you go to those websites that show about the drugs. And then they say, for health professionals only. Please, if you've ever read the drugs, go to that section only. Don't read the stuff up top. Go to this one. And then it goes through systematically every organ system in their body. There's usually about 17 different ones. I like to start at the psychological one because that's usually the fun one. And this is an antidepressant. The first thing it says about it, 18.8% of people on this drug get insomnia, which can lead to, that's right, depression. 18.8. So basically 1 in 5. I'm rounding it up. I knew I rounded it up. The next category is 1 to 10% of the population. 1 to 10%, all right? And, of course, it's suicidal ideology or suicidal thoughts. I'm not sure exactly which one this read, but it's right on the website. So 1 out of 10 people, up to 1 out of 10 people, are going to try to kill themselves. Seems like a lot to me. I don't know. You know, people that are depressed don't kill themselves, but when we put them on a drug, they do. And then you read on, it says, oh, and here's the next symptom, depression. how do I know it's not my old depression or it's the side effect of the pill? Because that, and then there's another one called aggravated depression. Oh, I think I know that's different than depression. It's an angry depression. And these are all, and you could have 1, 2, 4, or 10 of these things. And that's just psychological. And then you have to look at cardiovascular, and you have to look at respiratory, because they all have their different side effects. And people just don't look far enough down on the website. It's like, man, people are putting drugs in their body without any thought it could be bad for you. Well, gee, people now take more drugs than any time in history. And as of January 1st, drugs become free. That's going to change it if you're under 25, isn't it? So now your 14-year-old daughter can go to your doctor, get on birth control pills,
16.
and 16, and you won't even know anything about it. Don't worry, they'll probably change the numbers down to let children decide what they're going to do. This is what we're dealing with nowadays. It's incredible. The reason why people are sick is not because they didn't get drugs in time. And giving people drugs is an avoidance of a lifestyle. Remember in school, you got a permission slip, and the permission slip got you out of doing stuff you didn't want to do. I've got a note, I don't have to do that. Well, here's your note. You don't have to do anything. Here's your pill, here's your prescription, you take it in, and now you don't have to lose weight. You don't have to exercise because you've got a pill now. You're getting lulled. You're getting shackled by the concept that your body can't heal. Man, that's a dangerous concept. Exercise decreases impulsive actions. I was thinking about this earlier today, and I go, yeah, when I'm really training hard, like I've done like 6 marathons and 3 half Ironmans, and it's funny because it did change my impulsive activities because I was just tired of them. I would just go home and I'd get off the bike after 3 hours, and I would sleep for 3 hours. So it does decrease your impulsive activity. Any activity after exercise. So they're right. Scientifically, they're absolutely right. And it actually helps get your body rid of toxins and free radicals. So it helps you get rid of things that got into your body. So this excuse of I'm not going to exercise is just stupid. Perfect time of year to start, and you know, the perfect time would be tomorrow. And then all you have to do is say tomorrow at 11. Yeah, it's that simple. You just have to do it. No excuses. Financial stress. Make better decisions. You know, that's a good idea. Stop spending money. Canadians spend 168% of their gross salary. So we keep seeing this, and it keeps going up every single year. You can't live beyond your means. And when you do, you will go bankrupt. And we have a country that's eventually going to go bankrupt. Every time the Prime Minister apologizes, he writes a check. And it's like, we just keep giving money your way. He didn't do it. He didn't do anything bad, but he's handing out money. And we just look at this and say, wait a second. You know, bad things have always happened. And when we look at today's society and we're judging things that happened 40 years ago based on what we do today, of course we were smarter than we were 40 years ago. Thank goodness. But throwing money around all the time in government spending and getting in debt, it's never a good idea. Did you know that financial stress is responsible for 90% of divorces? That's big. Learn to budget. You can keep your spouse. I ran across this one, Craig Hilbert, Me to We Day, all those things. He spoke at St. Jerome's, 2007, 2008, somewhere back there. Very interesting young man. Started this Me to We when he was like in grade 5. You know, it's an amazing thing if you think about it. But this is one of his quotes. 1 in 20 children in Afghanistan are sold into slavery to pay the debt of their parents. Now, we're not quite that bad yet, but this is what's happening in other places around the world. Be thankful where you live, but you don't want your country to end up becoming one of those places where our debt becomes so hard to maintain that our children and their grandchildren are never going to get the life that they were supposed to have because we're in debt to some bank. And how do you do that? You start by not doing it yourself. You learn to budget. You learn to make decisions. When we go on our vacation, like I said, our vacation's already paid for. We're not going to pay for it over the next year. This is from the Storehouse Principle, a great book, and it gets into if you put things away, God will bless it. But God ain't blessing your debt, all right? He's not sending 100 angels on a suicide mission, all right? You spend more than you make, you're on your own. Get that? He's not going to fix you. You can pray, not going to happen. So what they found from their research is, let's say I've got a credit card bill. My last credit card bill was big because of someone what did they do? They didn't hack my card. They
Oh,
They compromised it.
Yeah, they compromise it,
The
yeah.
credit card was compromised for the first time ever, so it's kind of good. I'm looking at this fees bill going, it's kind of high even for me. And it was around, my bill was about $10,000. And someone else has been flying from Moncton to Edmonton. I don't know why you'd fly from Moncton to Edmonton, and some of like they were in
Paying a
business,
lot of money to do
in
it.
business class
Yes.
on me. So they're gonna take all that off. But that was my Visa bill. But when you look at that, they say, let's go with the number 10,000 so I can do the math because I did it earlier today. I practiced it. They say if you put it on your credit card, it's going to cost you 112%. So a $10,000 Visa bill that I don't deal with is going to cost me $22,500 because that's 112%. This is why you don't want to put things on a credit card because you might not be responsible. The brick wants you to buy things and not think about it. Because if you thought about it, you'd say, I'm not going to spend that money. I don't need that big TV. I don't need that power chair. I see these power recliners. We have a recliner you push back. These ones, you have buttons on them now, and they take you back. It's like, what the heck is happening? How lazy are you? So my last Visa bill, the other funny thing on my last Visa bill was, it said, and I've never looked at this before, but it says if I make my minimum payment, it's going to take me 86 years and 7 months to pay it out. Well, I better not make a minimum payment. Pay that off. So I just went to the computer and I paid the darn thing off because I knew those expenses were coming in and I knew I had the money to pay for them. Because we don't buy things that we don't need. But 86 years and 7 months if I make the minimum payment. So this minimum payment was $10. I go, well, that's only $10. Well, yeah, but next month it'll be $10 plus the interest. It'll now be like $210. Right? So then, and that's my minimum payment. So this is not, oh, I'm just going to pay 10. And no, I'll be paying way more than 112% on that bill. Remember, your nervous system, it runs, controls, and coordinates everything in your body, not just what you want it to or you think it does. The nervous system is responsible for your life. If the bones are out of place, that's going to put pressure on your nerves, and then your body's not going to work as well. My job is to not fix your life. My job is to remove interference. The body is designed to heal on its own. And my is the only profession that acknowledges the inborn ability of your body to heal. Every other practitioner that you see, other professions, they will tell you your body needs something. They're trying to make your body do something. I don't think your body needs something. I think it needs no interference. Doesn't need any help, simply no interference. And yes, you have to have a healthy lifestyle. But everyone else is trying to sell you drugs. We saw a commercial earlier this year, and you see the Mercedes commercials this time of year. Everyone wants one on Christmas Day. It's like, yeah, that's what you need. Or Mercedes-Benz or nothing. It's like, well, then I guess it's nothing again this year. That's an easy decision for me. And then there was one that we saw on plastic surgery. This is the first time I've seen the plastic surgery. So you get your plastic surgery now before Christmas, and they'll finance it. And I was like, woo, that's how do I broach that with my wife? Hey, honey, look at this deal. It's like, oh, you're a brave man to go and do that. But I can't believe there's a commercial on TV that tells you to go and get your plastic surgery before Christmas. And they show before and after pictures. It's like, wow, you guys are crazy. Arc of life. Everyone's neck's supposed to have that beautiful C-shaped curve. Well, normal is the one on the left, the one on the right, and this is from, once again, 2007, an old X-ray I pulled up here. This was the new generation, and I was shocked to see this in 2007. All the forward head positions we see. Now, I was talking to one of my patients earlier today. If I take 10 X-rays, and when people come in, we take a cervical X-ray, a lateral cervical, and then 2 cervicals here, and people go, oh, that's my back, you're not listening. It's like, well, you're not listening. The message you get from here to here, and it's got to go through here. This is your problem, okay? Stop talking and just listen to me. So people always want their lower back X-ray. That's what medicine does. They look right where you think you should look. That's what they do. I'm a chiropractor. If you walk into a dental office, and you say, it's this tooth. Just look at this tooth, okay? I don't want you to look at any of the other tooth. It's like, that'd be stupid, wouldn't it? They look at your whole mouth. I want to look at your whole spine, not just where you want me to look, all right? Mm-hmm. I know what I'm doing. And I've taken enough x-rays to realize, oh, it's your neck anyways, all right? Because if I get rid of the interference there, now life can flow to your lower back. So the argument is like, well, there's 4 people standing on a garden hose. How many people do you want me to take off? 1, 2, or 3, or 4? And they go, all right, probably 4. It's like, yeah, okay. And this is the biggest one. So let me do that. And then all of a sudden your body's going to start to heal. But we see these necks with these horrible, horrible curves in there nowadays. So 9 out of 10 people who show up to my office, they have an altered curve. It's straight, it's reversed, it has something funky going sideways. No one walks in here with normal necks anymore because you're looking down at your phone all the time. And we're seeing the young x-rays are worse than the older. It's the same way that we found out that young children have far more phthalates in their body and plasticizers than adults because everything in their life has been plastic since the time they were born. When we were young, we drank out of glass. We weren't constantly we didn't crawl around on a carpet with fire retardant on it because carpet back then didn't have fire retardant on it. And their clothing wasn't sprayed with fire retardant. So this is the toxicity that you're exposed to and you don't understand. And when your neck has a normal curve, your nervous system functions at a such high level, it can rid itself of toxins. When your neck curves that way, you don't have the ability to remove the toxic mess the same way because your body's not working at 100%, it's working at 80% or 92%. It's less than 100. And less than 100, given the option, it's like that, more God or less God in your life, you choose. It's like, well, it's probably more God, isn't it? Yeah, more God. That's what you want to go with every time, not less God. And that's the power that's flowing through your body. You always want more power, not less power. Make sense? This is a patient who decided not to listen to me, and you can see their neck was kind of straight, nice joint space, kind of good, but these bones are, well, they're a little curved at the front, they're not square anymore. Start seeing me, they drop out of care, they show up years later. Hey, wait a second, why are those bones all fused together, and those ones still look great? Well, the body stabilized itself. If you break your arm, and you want to use your hand for the rest of your life, thank God that God has put this power inside your body that will grow bone. So that you can now use your limb. The doctor might put a cast on it, but you grew the bone. Bone didn't go to the wrong arm, didn't go to your big toe, it went to the arm. When you hurt your neck, so when I look at an x-ray like this and people say, oh, my body made a mistake, that's caused by old age. That's my favorite one. I say, well, you ask your doctor how much older this bone is than that bone. See what he has to say about that, because he's probably going to not know how to answer that question. Because they're the same age, all right? Just so you guys know. They were all born on the same day, so they're the same age. But he's going to say, well, that's caused by old age. It's like, wow, don't tell the other bone that. Because it doesn't agree with you. And oh, by the way, didn't I show you an x-ray right here of this one, the 76-year-old right here? Ooh, it's back here, it's right here. Keeps moving. No, that one. That's a 76-year-old woman. So she has virtually no arthritis in her neck. So even when someone says, oh, it's normal to get arthritis, it's like, no, it's common to get arthritis. Normal and common, look them up tonight. They're different. They're really, really different. You just don't think about it. The next step, well, you're the one guest back there if you want to come and see us. That's why they close. You need tools. If you need tools, we have books. We have our website. Our website is drjeffwinchester.com. We have all sorts of good recipes on it. You can buy recipe books, those are cool. But nowadays, there's so much stuff online too. Go to our website. My last talk's on there. This talk will be on there in a few days. Get tools so that you can succeed. We're going to do a makeover. A makeover is going to be like a 2.5 hour to 3 hour event here, so we're going to really, hammer the essentials into you. But it's the same idea. It's the same things we talk about all the time about you changing your diet, you starting to exercise. That day we'll bring our exercise clothes and we will do some things, and we'll probably have some nice samples here. But you guys can, don't wait and say, oh, I'll wait till January 20th. Yeah, go home and wait till January 20th. Or go home and start to do something tonight or tomorrow. That will probably be more successful for you. Beautiful. Is that clear? Well done. Yep. Fantastic. Thank you for coming out. We have a cookie exchange next week. If you're a patient in the office and you have signed up, make sure that you bring your cookies. It makes life a lot easier for everyone. So the cookie exchange is about 6th, 7th year. I don't know how long we've been doing this. So we came up with this idea, and this was actually my idea. I'm the idea guy. I have no idea how it's going to happen, but I wake up in the middle of the night and I go, I should write that down.
And I was sleeping.
And then 2 years later I thought about it again. But the cookie exchange is you come up with 12 healthy recipes. And the whole idea is everyone makes 6 dozen cookies. And they're little cookies, but they're sugar-free or sugar and grain-free. They're all healthy choices. And then you make up your batch, and then you bring your 6 dozen here. Now you're going to leave with 6 dozen cookies, but you're going to leave with 12 different versions. So you're going to give your cookies away, and someone's going to give you their cookies. So now you don't have to go and get different cookie cutters out and different recipes and go buy almond flour and all these things, because someone else has done that for you. All you have to do is make your one batch. And it makes it easier if when you bring them, they're in bags of 6. Well, we'll have gloves, but if you have them in bags of 6, just boom, 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 and you grab it and you're done. You know, have a cider, and you're gone, you're out of here. And then you have your cookies. Now you can still make your favorite cookies, I'm not telling you can't. These are healthier choices. They're a nice variety, and it's just nice to put out if you're entertaining. So yeah, there's still a few spots you can sign up. If you don't, we'll end up having to make some more, which I'd rather other people do. Perfect. You may get up and walk around.